Mason Mount's contract is getting out of hand, and normally you would expect your parents to sit you down and absolutely tell you, listen, we need to do what's best for your future. But just like Kristen Pulisic's dad, Tony Mount is on Twitter liking stuff like he's a teenage boy, putting his son in more trouble, talking bad about his employer, and more importantly about the gaffer that's meant to pick him to play in the... This is getting messy, this is sticky, and I've got the details. It is juicy. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Gaff Guys, you guys. And like I said, the Mason Mount story is getting absolutely juicy. And what I said in the past, what I've been saying for weeks, that this is more than just an injury, has come into fruition. We're getting so much information that's just proven me right. I've got no sources. I've got nothing. I literally have my own intuition and my understanding of the game of football. And I've seen this before, and I'll break this down for the rest of you right now. Number two, Joao Felix is getting a lot of this. Joao Felix is getting too much abuse, and this is coming from a segment of the fan base that is predominantly either against Kai Havertz, Joao Felix, or Raheem Sterling, but religiously back Mason Mount. I don't understand it. We'll talk about that. And finally, Chelsea signed a wonder kid. This wonder kid term is getting thrown around left, right, and center. I have no idea how good this kid is, but I'm going to give you guys some feedback of how much he costs, where he's from, what position he allegedly plays in, and more importantly, is he any good based on what I've read? So let's get on with the video, but before we do that, I need you lot to do me a massive favor. I want you lot to help the algorithm. You support this channel because you made it this far. Hit the like button. We want 1,000. Do it now because you will forget. Number two, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 100k. Yes, I know we're only on 25,000 right now, but that's the target. And finally, in the pinned comment is the link to my socials. Go and follow me there and let's build this community. We've got an audience today. Mendez is sitting here and enjoying herself on the phone. She didn't want to move, so she's part of the video. But let's talk about Mason Mount. Mason Mount is a player that came through Chelsea's youth academy. He's a player that was pivotal in our Champions League win. If you're saying he's not, you're lying. He's a player that gave a lot to Chelsea, and Chelsea gave him a lot. They gave him a platform. They turned him into an amazing football player, and he developed his talent. He repaid Chelsea by playing regular minutes and flourishing, and at the same time, his career at Chelsea has been peaks and troughs. That is the honest truth and the most unbiased thing I can say about it. Now he's got 13, 14 months left on his contract. He's a free agent at the end of next summer, and he hasn't resigned. Recently, we've spoken about the fact that he's rejected a £180,000 contract. He believes he's worth the money that Reece James is, after bonuses and after everything, £250,000. Chelsea don't believe that. I agree with them wholeheartedly. I don't believe he's the caliber of player that Reece James is. That's not for us to debate. That's none of our business, in the sense that he's allowed to ask for whatever he wants. What I do find interesting is that Potter, all of a sudden, whenever he's asked in press conferences who's injured, he names everyone. But then when a question comes about Mount doesn't feel great. Well, Mount's been in training for 2 days in a row. Mount didn't make the squad again. 3 squads in a row, Mason Mount's not in the squad. 3 occasions now, Mason Mount has not made the squad. And Johnny Minerals, if you already know him from YouTube, he's very entertaining. Like, I don't agree with most of the stuff that Johnny says, but you know what? Johnny's love comes from a good place in his heart. Johnny's actually a very nice person when you talk to him. I've been on streams with him before. He's a good guy. His opinions on football, we don't agree on, but he's a good guy. Like, I've never had a problem with it. He's tweeted something along the lines of, Mount's been in training 2 days. All of a sudden, he's not in the squad. Why not? Is Bowley telling him something, and the yes man jellyfish manager agreeing with it? And guess who liked the tweet? Tony Mount. Tony Mount, the father of Mason Mount, likes the tweet. Now, let me ask you guys something. Do you think Tony Mount is acting very professional in this situation? The agent of the player is acting in a professional manner. I understand it's his fatherly instinct. I understand this is his family and he's frustrated. But is this helping anyone? You're in the middle of a public negotiation between your son and your party, because you're the agent, with Chelsea Football Club, who you're trying to negotiate with to get money. Do you think it's appropriate for you to be liking tweets? So a bunch of people will be atting Chelsea and atting Todd Bowley, and we know Chelsea Football Club at this moment in time, at this very moment, are actively very vigilant on their social media interactions. They will know what he done. They will know the fact that this tweet was liked. They will know this. Do you think this is appropriate? Do you think you've put your son in a better position? I don't. I think if anything, you most probably wasted your son's opportunity now. your son most probably isn't going to be in the squad for a few more weeks. And more importantly, he might have even played his last game for Chelsea. Because if I'm Graham Potter, I'm not putting him in the squad now. Because one, I don't need him. And two, why on earth am I going to put someone whose agent is openly bad-mouthing me in public? This is blatant disrespect. Todd Bowley's a billionaire. Eghbali is a billionaire. They are in charge of an entity called Chelsea Football Club. Do you think they are going to get pushed around by Mason Mount and Tony Mount? I don't think so. I genuinely believe they're not going to be so weak-minded and pushed around because they are used to conducting business with other egotistic individuals. They are used to conducting business with entities that are far larger and corporations that will not be trying to negotiate and cave them over little amounts of money the way that they're dealing with right now. This was the wrong move. And this is going to cost Mason Mount his Chelsea future. I am telling you now, the only way this gets resolved is if Mason Mount signs the exact terms Chelsea are offering him. 8 or 7 years on £180,000, and you'll be saying thank you that you're even getting that contract based on your performances in the last 18 months. This is very messy, and honestly, parents should not be allowed to be agents. This is how strongly I feel about this. It's unprofessional what they've done. They have just caused such a big issue for Mason Mount. He has to go to training and see these people. He has to go in every day now and deal with Graham Potter. The relationship could have been already like this. Now it's like that. It's harsh, it's not true, it should not be happening. Very messy situation, there is definitely more. Furthermore, this really has been frustrating. Joao Felix is a player that I rate very highly. Kai Havertz is a player I rate very highly. Raheem Sterling is a player I rate very highly. Mason Mount is not a player I rate very, very highly. But he has a lot of fanboys, and I'm going to call them fanboys because the way they articulate their argument is very emotive and very passion merchant based. There is never facts, there's never stats, there's never eye test. There is pure, he runs for the club, he does this, he does that. I don't want to hear that. I want to see quality. I want to understand what I'm seeing. They're using SofaScore now to say that Joao Felix has been bad for Chelsea, that the last 5 games have been shocking for Chelsea. What games have you been watching? Like, are we really at the stage now where Kai Havertz has scored back-to-back games and Kai Havertz has been good in the last 5 games? So now we're going to drop the Kai agenda and we're going to move on to the Joao Felix agenda. Now we're going to be hypercritical of everything Joao Felix does, and because he doesn't score or assist, he's a bad player. Are we really going to be doing that? As a fan base, are we so deluded, or are we not analyzing the game enough to the point where it's as simplistic as, oh, he got a red or amber on a football app that is based on an algorithm rather than an eye test implemented with stats, and that means he's had a bad game? Come on, guys, we're better than that. I want the viewers of this channel to be better than that. I'm not saying Joao Felix is world class. I'm not saying Joao Felix has been fantastic for Chelsea. But I'm saying Joao Felix has been one of our best players. I'm saying Joao Felix, whilst not the most clinical in front of goal, he's been creating opportunities. He's been a pivotal link between the midfield and the attack. He's allowed Kai to become Kai in his final form. Kai now is a second striker. You've got the link and you've got the pacey striker. And all of a sudden, it's starting to click. Why do we have to break something? Now, all of a sudden, every single day, I'm seeing the same conversation. Do we really need to sign him for £90 million? It's not going to be £90 million. Joao Felix is not going to cost £90 million. He'll most probably cost 70 mil. Because Atletico are not stupid. They know Chelsea are not going to pay ample amount of money for an individual that doesn't want to play for them. And more importantly, there aren't many clubs around the world that are going to pay £90. There aren't any that are going to pay 90 million. And Joao wants to stay at Chelsea. And this is great news for us. The fact that Joao wants to stay, and the fact that we've already built up a rapport between him and Kai, it's the future of the club. We need to back it. Potter's coming out speaking positive about Joao. He's coming out speaking positive about Kai Havertz. He's coming out speaking positive about Raheem Sterling. That's the 3. Maybe you can bring in Nkunku and all of a sudden you've got 4 great players and Mikhailo Mudryk 5. That's it. You don't need any. Once you have that unit, once you have that core group, do you really need more? 5 is ample enough when you have 3 positions to fight for. That's my personal opinion. Drop the agendas. It's finally, now we need to talk about the individual that we signed from the Phoenix All-Stars. So speaking about this player is going to be very difficult for me because, guys, I've seen clips and I've read about him. Very hard for me to judge a 17-year-old's footballing ability by reading and trusting other people's opinions and just seeing quick short clips. So all we know about him is that his name is Dujon Whisper Richards. He's a Jamaican international. He's 17 years old. He plays in the forward line. Very good on the ball. Technically, very tidy from the clips that I've seen. Dribbles past players, got a venomous shot, looks very good. And he's going to be joining Chelsea for less than £1 million. Apparently, we've sent our scout over there. We've hijacked the deal from Newcastle. He was on loan on a trial with Newcastle. Actively performed very well. Chelsea heard about him, sent their people out there and just stole him. This is Chelsea's new solution, right? We're going out there, we're getting the best young talent around the world, and we're going to develop them. And we're going to give them a platform within Cobham. Cobham is going to give them everything. Nutrition, food. No, sorry, nutrition and food is the same thing. Nutrition, training facilities. Most probably they're still going to get some sort of like schooling system. I don't know how it works because he's 17, right? Can't just be pure football. Most probably will be like some sort of like after, just in case football doesn't work out. This is a great opportunity for the kid. He's going to earn a heck of a lot of money. He's going to do what he loves. And more importantly, he's going to develop. This is a great opportunity for anybody. But we don't know much about him. He's 17, for crying out loud. Like, a lot could go right or a lot could go wrong. Like, and he cost £1 million. It's not like Andre Santos where you're paying 13 million, then you see him for Brazil in a tournament where he's standing out and he gets a first team Brazil call-up. This is different. This is a player that we're going to have to be patient with. And most of you are going to forget his name until he makes a debut in 2-3 years' time. So let's be positive. Let's see how this develops. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you lot are happy with this video. This Mason Mount situation is getting very sticky and we need to get to the bottom of it. Peace out. I'm out. Have a nice day.